Alright guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another video. This is Dash Show Rose here. I'm back to talk about my thoughts on some more pop culture news-related stuff. Yep, we are going to talk about some more of that. If you guys haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And all that. I am trying to get to 1K subs, so if you guys can do, some support for me, that'll be nice. And remember, guys, you guys do not have to watch these videos. I just like to, talk about my opinions on this stuff. So you guys can click off the video if you guys want. It's all up, like I said, I just do this because, I want to talk about my opinions. Because some people get mad about that. So, yeah. And, and I have a lot to say about this. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this. Sorry if I sound funny too. I'm wearing like a coat and all that and a jacket because I'm doing this outside because people are sleeping inside. And just a heads up, my family has COVID. I don't know. Well, one of my brothers was tested positive. I don't know if I already had it or not because I was going through a phase where I wasn't feeling good too. So. That's kind of why I'm doing this stuff outside, because doing videos with everybody in the house is kind of a pain, because there's a lot of screaming going on. Because Magnolia, my sister acts kind of spoiled and stuff, and then her and Nolan get at it. It's a mess. Like I said, it is a freaking mess. And I'm kind of hoping I won't have to deal with that much longer, so... hopefully I can get my own place, but, I'm trying to get things straightened out, so, yeah, just a heads up on that. But, yeah, anywho, though, let's go ahead. I'm going to talk about Paramount, because, there's some more stuff coming out on Paramount. Now, I've talked about how desperate Paramount is to get freaking Warner Brothers. Like, they are fucking desperate as hell. And apparently, they were now going to court. I say were going to court because that's kind of already happened from what I could hear, and the court kind of sided with Netflix on this, but they were going to court and all that. Or actually, wait, did they go to court with no? They would have gone to court with Warner Brothers, but I think Netflix would have been in there too. And all that, they would have been in there as well, because, it's part of the whole deal and stuff, and all that, so, yeah, they both would have been probably in there, and this whole thing, though, is a freaking mess. Like, it is a fucking mess on this whole thing and all that. Like, we got, Warner Brothers trying to, sell to Netflix and all that, because, I don't think Warner Brothers likes the politics stuff on, Paramount side, because Paramount is with Trump. They're the Ellisons who run Paramount now are part of Trump and all that. So we had that, and then and then on the other hand, we have Trump and all that, I don't know if Trump's getting involved with this or not. I don't know yet on that, but I do know, that the Ellisons and all that are actually trying to, the Ellisons are actually going in and trying to, get Warner Brothers and stuff. Like, it seems like, because of Trump and all that doesn't really like CNN and wants it to shut down. But I mean, would they be even allowed to get it? Because yes, the president has a lot of power in the U.S. For people who watch my videos, or people who are, watch my videos and aren't don't live in the U.S. Yeah, basically, yeah, the president has a lot of power over some stuff, but there are still limits. He does have to get things approved as well, which is kind of why we had that whole government thing get shut down too, because of all that kind of crap, Like I said, it's a mess. But yeah, he doesn't really like CNN. I mean, to be fair, CNN kind of treated him kind of dirty in the the debates and all that with like Joe Biden and all that, because I mentioned that the debates were pretty painful to watch and all that. They were kind of like, like we had Trump in here and all that, and roasting kind of Biden, and then Biden kind of doing that. And, to be fair though, Biden for the most part, he was kind of, actually it wasn't really like I guess kind of roasting, like kind of calling out the BS on both sides. And the thing is though, is that he was like having a very hard time functioning and all. Even Trump was like, I have no idea what he said, because he was mumbling. Like, you could tell that Biden was having a problem with and stuff, and again, Trump, patting himself on the back and all that. And then we have, we had the one with ABC News and all that, and we had, Kamala Harris and all, because they redid the whole election. So I'm surprised, that hasn't been a thing yet. But, I'm surprised, like, he hasn't, like, tried to go after them or something, because he's been going after some of these news outlets and has sued them. But I guess to be fair, Bob Iger did go all the way to the fucking White House and all that, because he's scared and all that of, and doesn't want, because Trump, is in office and stuff again and all that. But I don't know. I mean, there's a whole lot of crap going on in Hollywood with this kind of stuff, but I'm just like, I don't know. It's basically just freaking politics. It's like one side doesn't want, one to have the other, because of politics. That's what this whole shit is about. And I'm just like looking at it and I'm just like, I don't think it really matters who gets Warner Brothers. I think we're going to deal with problems no matter what. And people are like saying like, if Warner Brothers goes to Netflix, then, Netflix will probably cut access to the theatrical stuff. And, yeah, I think they might do that. I don't know if they would completely do that or not. I don't know. Because I think there was one movie that did actually go to the theaters and then went to Netflix. That came out last year. I forgot the name of the movie, but it was part of Sony, I think. But, I think, or actually, did it, I don't remember. I think, it lost, like, somebody lost money. I think it was Netflix. They, like, put it on Netflix, or they were going to put it on, or wanted to release it in theaters or something. I don't know. It's been a while. But I think, though, like, putting the movies out in theaters, though, would definitely help advertise some stuff. But my thing is, though, too, is even if Netflix gets Warner Brothers, if they get it, there's still going to be other studios. We'll have Paramount, we'll have Disney, we'll have them, we'll have, Universal and all that. We'll have all these other studios, releasing, movies in theaters. And I'm not saying, like, I think it does suck to have that. And also, Netflix will probably raise their prices more, but I think, honestly, Paramount Plus would probably do it too. They would raise their prices too, if they got it, because they'd be having more content under their belt. But Netflix is a lot more expensive than Paramount. Paramount, I think, is the cheapest. I have heard they are raising the prices a little bit on Paramount, though, too. Paramount Plus, they're going to raise it up a bit more, but it's still going to be, I think, cheaper than what the other ones are charging, though. But yeah, that's going to be a problem there than the DVD stuff. But on Paramount's side, if Paramount were to get it, it probably would put a freaking huge dent in the company, because they're talking about wanting to pay $108 billion, and they're talking about wanting to borrow this shit from overseas, which I mean, it could be false information, but I want to clarify to you guys that also, by the way, that Disney is actually owned, a lot of the company is actually owned in China. Like, I don't know if a lot of people know that, because people don't point it out, but yeah, actually, Disney is owned a lot by China, too. And, that's the problem with overseas stuff. So, like, if you have other people overseas, operating a lot of the stuff, especially if we have another pandemic, it could be a problem, too, But yeah, there's that, and I said they probably would cut more crap, because, again, it put a huge dent in them. I just don't think it'd be a good idea for them to buy it. I mean, they might have better content on there, but also, I'm just saying, it'd be kind of a mess. But, but that's the thing, though. I don't think it matters who gets Paramount here. I think both are, both are not the greatest companies and all that, and, I just think, I think Hollywood's just dead at this point. Like, I think it's just digging its grave deeper. Like, I don't know how much longer it's gonna survive. I've been saying, too, that, I think Disney's going to get sold off, too. I think it's gonna happen. And I actually do have a Disney video, but I don't know when I'll make it. Because, I said I'm kind of busy with some stuff and all that, and honestly, I don't really, know how I'm, how I'll feel and all that, but, because of the COVID stuff, which I don't have it right now, but I don't know if I'll get it. I'm hoping I don't get it. I hope I already had it, because I was sick, but I don't really know. But, I do want to make a video talking about that, but, because I'm, with Star Wars and stuff that's happened, but yeah, Disney, though, I keep saying that I think they're going to get sold off, too, because they're losing a lot of money, too, and all that, and that's kind of the thing, too. Like, they're going to try to, that's what these companies do, by the way. They try to sell themselves off, and all, they create all this fucking debt, and then they try to sell themselves off, and all that. So, and then the CEOs get all the damn money and shit, because, they fucking, they sell the stuff and all that, and then they put the debt on the other, companies and stuff, and it causes more layoffs and stuff and all that. It is it's a horrible thing for them to do, but, I'm just saying, that I could totally see Disney doing that. And speaking of Disney, I was going to talk about this, because this is kind of talking about Trump and stuff here. So I did say I had another Trump video, that I was going to talk about. It wasn't about this. This actually came out, this news came out later. But apparently, people are posting online about Home Alone, how, the person who played, the kid in Home Alone, I forgot his name. His name is Kevin something. I forgot it. No, wait, not Kevin. That's the character's name. I forgot his actual name. But he actually, well, there's posts of it. I don't know if this is true, but there's posts, and all that online, about, them removing the Trump scene and all that from Home Alone, and all that. The thing is, though, is it looks like that's old news and all that. So you gotta be very careful when you look at that stuff, but that's kind of why I was, trying to look more into it, but yeah, it's, older news and stuff, but I wanted to kind of talk about it anyway real quick, because I'm talking about, the Ellisons and all this politics stuff here, but honestly, I've said that I don't like Trump that much. I don't like Trump, I don't like Biden, I don't like Kamala Harris, I don't like any of these party people we've been having lately, but I'm just saying, I don't know if I'd want the scenes to be removed, because honestly though, having the scenes get removed would be kind of, something I wouldn't like. I mean, yeah, I get the people are, the people and all that, become unlikable or something, but honestly, though, I kind of want to just enjoy the movie, just get out of the drama. Because personally, though, there are, like, so many people in Hollywood, that are not very, likable. I mean, there's quite a few, and all that. And I feel like if you take their scenes out, you'd be taking a ton of them out, So, I don't know, I just think leaving, the scenes alone would make more sense. But apparently in Canada, that has happened. So, it has happened in Canada. So, there is that. Apparently I've heard they removed some of that in Canada, but not in the U.S., but I'm sure if Trump wasn't in office, they probably would remove it, but, Trump's in office, so they're afraid to do it because they're afraid of him, but I'm just like, I don't really care. I mean, I have DVDs, why should I care, but I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I would, even Milo and Otis, if you guys don't know the story about Milo and Otis, I mean, this might make me sound like a dark person, but, in Milo and Otis, and this goes for a lot of animal movies, behind the scenes, a lot of animals were killed, and, that is really messed up, but I don't know why, but I still like to watch the movies to see the animals. I don't know, it sounds dark, it does, but I don't know, maybe I'm just so used to the drama anymore, and, my past growing up, maybe I'm just, that's just kind of how I am, just to drown out the real stuff in the real world. I don't know, but, yeah, that's kind of the thing. I don't think they should probably remove Trump and all that from the movies. I don't think they should do that with really anybody. I think they should just leave the stuff alone, and just, it's a way to get people to draw out the real life stuff, to watch a movie, have fun, but I don't know, that's just my opinion there, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, but I'm probably going to be letting the video go here in a few, but I've stated, though, that I don't know if I don't think Trump's involved with this, but if the Ellisons are in, friends with him, I'm sure he may get involved with it, and I'm just gonna say it right now that that's not very good, I'm like, there's other crap we need to worry about. We don't need to worry about who gets fucking Warner Brothers. They're just acting like spoiled brats, I'm just like, I'm just saying, just let fucking Warner Brothers go to Netflix. I'm sure you can probably buy something else, or hell, if all that money you guys could probably buy, or you can probably create your own, I guess it's own superhero universe or something like that. I've said that in the past. They could literally do that, I'm not kidding. I mean, that's the thing, though. They got so much stuff. I mean, yeah, I get Warner Brothers does have a lot of great properties. They got Scooby-Doo and all that, but I'm just saying, I mean, I don't want either to get it. But honestly, at this point, I don't even know who I want. I said I was thinking Netflix, but now I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want Paramount to be put in debt either, but also I'm like, I want good stuff too, I don't know. I'm like, I mean, Netflix has had some good stuff, they don't seem to be as strict with the stuff, but I'm just saying, I don't know, but yeah, I think if the president were to get into it, that would be very selfish. I think that would be not a great thing, and I'm sure, if that did happen, yeah, if he got out of office, I'm sure, that would create some big drama, but I don't know, it's just kind of crazy. But, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at with Paramount and in Warner Brothers and Netflix, we got that going on, but, I thought Disney was freaking crazy. Man, this is even more crazy, yeah, Disney is freaking crazy, but, they really haven't gone to this level of stuff, but to be fair, though, when they bought out Fox, they were actually in an actual bidding war, and it did cost them some money, so, yeah. Oh, yeah, and one more thing, too. People say that Netflix and Paramount are saying that Netflix would be a monopoly. I'm like, hello, Disney has bought out tons of shit. They bought out Fox, and they bought out Hulu, and now they own a good chunk of Fubo. So I wouldn't call them a monopoly. But, I'm just saying there, but, people keep saying that, and it would not make Netflix a monopoly if this happens. I'm just saying, like, Disney has done other stuff. Now, I don't think they need to own all these freaking streaming services. They shouldn't have been allowed to buy Hulu. I'm just saying, because I think, that's a whole different thing, and they own most of Fubo TV. I'm just saying, that I don't think this would be considered a monopoly. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't think it is, because I know it isn't. But, I just wanted to bring that up because people are criticizing Netflix about that. But, yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and let the video go. So, I will see you guys all later, though. Anywho, bye-bye.